Can you tell us more about this new approach of Better Together and the importance of UX, the user experience, please?
Sure. So in general, user experience, when we look at it from end user computing perspective, we look at three criteria. We want to see how you will be able to give ease of access to the desktop for the users through a single sign-on capability. You want as well to see that the application is performing very well, even under a constraint of network and resources. And you also want to see an integration with all peripherals so that the whole system is working smoothly. So for Citrix, this is like our bread and butter. This is since the inception of the company more than 30 years ago. Our focus has always been on the user experience. Users will expect to work from anywhere on any device using any network, regardless of the bandwidth constraint. And they expect to be able to access the application as if they are physically in the office and using even their physical laptop. So with this, they want to have access to all their peripherals, scanners, printers, USB devices, whatever the scenario is. This is where they want to access it with no slowness or degradation of performance. But we have also seen a main concern from our customers from a user experience perspective is the ability to print and for the users to use all those capabilities and printing, and even to the extent of the details of how the text clarity and graphics, especially if users are using a lot of Excel and a lot of numbers, they want also that experience to be like perfect. And this is where in the world of the cloud and Citrix, we come together with a Better Together story. So there is a lot of in the market, there is a lot of solutions, but the combination of that platform and excuse me for mixing sometimes the brand WVD and AVD, exchange from Windows Virtual Desktop to Azure Virtual Desktop. So the Azure Virtual Desktop capabilities of the multi-sessions and the solid platform that Microsoft has come up with, and we build upon that to make sure that we offer for the AVD users the capabilities beyond the basic platform to enable them to get the best user experience, either through, again, to the same three criteria of how to access the desktop with a single sign-on, how to get the best performance on the network, and how to connect to all peripherals. And I believe there is a video here that we can run, and it's a bit noisy. It was from one of my colleagues on Citrix, showing side by side how a WVD or AVD environment and the Citrix with the protocols, and how the optimization of the protocol in the usage of the memory can improve the user experience, and at the same time, actually, it's reducing the cost of delivering that solution. We can run the video.
And here you can see the difference between Windows Virtual Desktop and Citrix with MCS I/O optimization, and look on the uses of memory on the native one and with the Citrix way of doing it. It's a huge difference in the user experience and also the cost of running it.
That shows how the combo of the platform of WVD or AVD with Citrix capabilities and protocols and optimization can give the best user experience.
Thanks, Khaled, for this. So we all, it's not either or. It's not Azure VD or Citrix. I think we understand from what you were saying. It's really Citrix sitting on top of Azure VD to provide additional value. Just a specific question here is, how does Azure VD deal with SSO, so single sign-on and the multi-factor authentication? Okay, can you clarify a bit on this?
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Nicola, for that question. So actually, apparently, this is mainly a Microsoft service and Microsoft Cloud service when we talk about Azure Virtual Desktop. So it's an easy, it's completely integrated with whatever controls we have in Azure Active Directory, since this is a cloud service. So there is of course integration with single sign-on. There is a multi-factor authentication you can enable to secure your identity, and even there is a third-party third-party solutions that provide the single sign-on. Of course, there's if it's integrated with Azure Active Directory, if it's integrated with Microsoft, so it works for also for the Azure Virtual Desktop.
And this question is important because as we talk about user experience, I mean the easy access to everything is really critical for every users. Thanks, Ahmed. Let me back to you, Khaled. So we talk about experience, security. Security is critical, right, for organization as well today. But managing that increased security can sometimes lead to frustrating user experience, and I think we all have our experience here. So how will Citrix, for instance, this is an example where Citrix on top of Azure VD, how Citrix can enhance Azure VD native SSO capabilities that Ahmed was just talking about?
Yes, again, it's a very critical, balancing game between making the platform or the end user computing secured and again delivering and not frustrating the users. So with this in mind, we are secured by design as a solution, but we also look at the idea of how to make it easier for the user. So things like the Federation Authentication Services, the FAS. This will bridge the gap between the machine and the application, and will integrate with all the famous single sign-on identity solution vendor solutions to make it a smooth and easy integration and give access to the user to all the resources.
Back to you, Ahmed. What capabilities that, so we're talking security, what capabilities does Azure VD provide to help optimize this user experience? So not just delivering, but optimize the UX on Azure VD.
Yeah, thank you, Nicola. Actually, Citrix has a long pioneered in this space. However, Microsoft has also made a significant enhancements in this space in terms of optimizing the Microsoft Teams and rolling out support for UDP protocols. But still, Citrix HDX protocol does continue to be the gold standard when it comes to delivering an optimized user experience on any connection and device. So yes, Microsoft did some enhancement, and it's really enhanced the user sessions. But still, better together is it's a better for end user experience.
Okay, thanks. And the last questions on this section is back to you, Khaled. I'm sure we have a lot of IT manager listening to us. So how can Citrix help administrators monitor and improve the experience? Because here we talk about UX, but how do we monitor and measure, right, that experience we're talking about, and how Citrix can help here?
Yeah, with Citrix Cloud, which is our SaaS offering on Microsoft Azure, it provides a single console and a dashboard to access all administration and all monitoring tools that are needed from one place. We have monitoring tools like the Citrix Director that can give the administrator a lot of insight about the resources and in a hybrid environment. So those resources that are sitting on Azure or those resources that are still currently on-prem. So with a single console, you'll be able as an administrator to see how the performance is happening there. With Citrix Analytics, you can even have more insights about the resources. And as an admin, it's not only the important monitoring that AVD provide at the infrastructure level, we take it a step further. So more on the user for the WVD or AVD machines, the user logins, the application launching, all the details of the performance are provided to beyond just the infrastructure one.
Okay, makes sense. Let me summarize then this section about the user experience. When it comes to successful VDI implementation, it's all about user experience. That's for sure, and UX should be measured from our point of view as per 3 points: authenticating and gaining access to all the resources in an easy way. That's one. The second is launching and using the resource whether it's an app on a virtual machine or on a peripheral attached to the physical device. That's 2. And third is the performance of the resource, which depends on a number of factors, including the network and the compute infrastructure, right? So I think we all understood here that Citrix provide additional capabilities on top of Azure VD. It's not either or, it's Citrix on top. Why Citrix on top? And you've expressed, Khaled and Ahmed, quite well, this HDX protocol. I'm not technical, but I'm sure our audience understood that, which is really what is in the DNA of Citrix to support third-party SSO that significantly improve the user experience. That's really what we want you to get out of this section in terms of user experience. While Microsoft Azure VD has tools to monitor the underlying infrastructure, Citrix Director Platform builds on that by enabling IT teams, and I hope we all recognize yourself here, enabling you to monitor the entire infrastructure from a user perspective.